All right, what up, YouTube? This is No Cap, No Filter. I'm your host, Molly G, back at y'all another episode of Running With You. And today we got to run about this video I came across. It's this woman stating that money makes men more attractive, not women. We talked about this a couple of times, but let's go ahead on and see what this sister has to say in her own words. Without further ado, let's go ahead on and get into it.
Have you noticed that money makes men more attractive, but the same doesn't really go for women? And it's kind of a good thing. Hear me out. For men, money often signals security, provision, and competence, which is all traits that are very attractive. Now, for women, money tends to create admiration, respect, but not desire, meaning a woman's money may earn her respect, but attraction is built on something way deeper. Women usually aren't chosen for their provision, but they are chosen for their warmth, confidence, respect, energy, presence, and softness.
They chosen for their beauty and their femininity, basically. When it comes to men, a lot of women, they get attracted from a man, not so much by his looks. Now they want him to look good, but it's not that he has to be, just the most handsome man ever. They'll rather somebody that's medium ugly, which they always say. I'm gonna go ahead and get into a video about that sooner. But they rather somebody medium ugly, and on top of that, they'll rather him have money, have resources, and have status. Now the status thing, it don't gotta apply with every woman as far as him being just so popular and just so famous, but at least status amongst his community, amongst his family, friends. Like someone who's looked at with a high regard of respect, if you will, amongst that person's social circle. Now, when it comes to women, yes, now in this day and age, woman getting her own bag, woman, having a career in this day and age, it is so more common that, these younger cats will look at that as a plus. But in general speaking, just from men all across the, globe, money ain't so high on the totem pole like it's high on the totem pole for a woman, because for a woman you want a man to have money, to have provision, to be able to look after her and her kids. But when it comes to a man having money, I mean, when it comes to a woman having money, she's going to want that man to have money as well. So it's basically his money is your money, her money is her money. So is not that attractive? For example, a man who's a millionaire, he wouldn't care if, a girl is worth $10 million if, she's older and unattractive. But if a woman is younger and attractive and she's, only making 80,000 a year, he would definitely take her over the girl who's making 10 million. So it's just different things. But if you flip that, if the girl has the chance to choose between the guy who's making 10 million and a guy who's making 80, more often than not, she's going to go with the guy who's making 10. You see what I'm saying? It's like more men will go after and date, let's just say someone like, let's just say Nia Long, but Nia Long is only making 50,000. More men will date Nia Long than uh Oprah Winfrey, and we all know Oprah is like a billionaire if that man is worth millions of dollars. You see what I'm saying? So the money she make is not that high on a totem pole. What's high on the totem pole is how she carries herself. Uh, Her past ain't too janky. Femininity, nurturing qualities, respect. Uh, having appreciation, knowing how to save a man a dollar, like being an asset instead of a liability, and just applying herself in his everyday life to become a a point of value. And you ain't just got to do all the most. Men really appreciate the little things. Rub our back, be supportive, uh cook us a meal, clean up for us. If we like coffee in the morning, Have our coffee ready. If you know we like our shake right after we work out, have that ready. Stuff like that. We really appreciate the smaller things.
This is not anti wealth, but it's pro clarity. And this is for all my women to know that it's okay to chase wealth, but don't confuse it with attraction. Your softness, presence, and self respect will always be your biggest currency. Let money be your cherry on the top, but allow your femininity and your magnetism to be the actual dessert. That is how you win.
That's very well said. That is very well said. Let the money on top be the cherry, and the actual dessert is your femininity. Like women, as long as they walking in their femininity and they don't need a man to make them feminine, they just already come feminine. That is a cheat code. That is a literal cheat code that will make women's life so much easier. All these women right now, they want to be fighting online. They want to go outside in the club all the time. They want to make all this money, which is making all this money tends to have them more with more masculine traits, because now you out in the workforce, you're making all this money, you competing with other women in the workforce. Now you're gonna have certain masculine traits, and you ain't gonna want to be home and watching kids no more because you out working hard in the workforce so much. And that's why women, when they say, oh, 50-50, they feel like being at home, taking care of the kids on top of working, it feels like slave work because you double dipping, if you going that hard out in the workforce. If you're going that hard out in the workforce, I want to say. But yeah, man. All I gotta say, man, is right now we in a different type of time. Like people just gotta get with the times. A lot of women these days, they are working their job and at the same time making content from their job. Like a lot of girls are posting on TikTok, posting on Instagram Reels, and they're getting paid per month. Some girls getting paid more than others, but a lot of people are finding different avenues to make money. It's so many things out there to make money within the palm of your hand, and people are figuring these things out. And I just want to think, I just want to say that, you know, women, y'all are making the money. Y'all are, thinking that attracts men more because you having this money that you quote unquote bringing to the table. But men really care about your personality more than anything else, because the men that you are gonna want, the men that you're gonna be attracted to, if you're making 80,000, the man that you're gonna be attracted to is likely making 80,000 or more, so he's not gonna care about your money. So some girls are making the money, but not working on their inner self as far as their, attitude, as far as their demeanor, as far as their, going out and taking all these different trips. Like men don't really want a girl that's just out and about all the time, you know, and you making this money and you feel more entitled to have this take me as I am demeanor about yourself. But that's not always the case. But I don't know what y'all guys think down below in the comment section. Let me know if you like the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, what you waiting on? Until next time, I'm out.